Hey guys, welcome back to Crime Scene. Today's video is going to be an interesting one because we get to check out Nanette Ellis's house, both on the outside and on the inside, and it answers a few questions for me. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. So I had a lovely lady email me. I'm not going to say her name because I don't know if she wants me to, but she knows who she is, so thank you very much for this information. But she let me know that the number of Nanette's house on Manuka Drive in Boronia was number 41. So now we can have a look on Google Maps, and it's right here. It hasn't been torn down. It does look slightly different. It looks like it's been painted on the outside, and I think it's been painted around the windows as well with that green shade there. But it's hard to kind of look at it because it's just bad angles from where it is on Google Maps. It's pretty much all you get from it. But you can see here that, this is where Nanette parked her car. And we were guessing that this was the front door here, and we were right. I didn't realize it was going to have like a vestibule or something in there before you actually get to the door. But that's how it looked right there. And you can see, if I go up this side of the house, you can see that there's added an extension here on the back now, which was not there in 1984, but the actual bit that was Nanette's house down here is still there. Like I said, painted, looks a little bit different, but not at all really. So looking at that house there also brings up a few more questions. So the cops think that she had a car parked here, she was going in and out with unloading stuff from her car, and she had left the door open and somebody had run in and got her inside the house. And I don't know, I didn't really think that to begin with. It seemed like a lot, especially since, like I said, it was daylight savings time between 5:15 and 6 o'clock daylight savings time, so it would have been bright. It would have been very noticeable. And as we can see here too, the driveway is very, very small. So I'm wondering how you don't see anybody coming here, or if anyone else in the street doesn't see anybody here. And I said before how brazen it was to attack a woman in her home so violently when it's all bright outside. And rush hour traffic as well, 5:15 to 6 o'clock is where a lot of people would be coming home down this street. So it was already quite brazen. But you got to imagine, okay, just say that you're a stalker and you've been watching the house and you see Nanette pull up, and there she is. She's unloading her stuff and she's got the door wide open, and you think, okay, this is my chance. I'm going to go get her. So you run across here, run down. What happens if she comes back outside to get the stuff out of the car and you're only here? What was the guy going to do? Was he going to still run at her in broad daylight with everyone around and push her back into the house to attack her? Or was he going to sit there and say, oh, sorry, I've got the wrong address, or make some other excuse and turn around and leave? This just does not seem right to me. It doesn't seem right to me at all that it would just be a stranger. And also too, let's have a look at the street here. Where was the stalker sitting? It's a small street, lots of houses. You look up and down, very open, with the house that's right across the road is all very open. I don't know if it was like that in 1984, but I can't see why it wouldn't be. I can't see why there'd be more trees there in 1984 than there is now. But this is just, it's a very built up area on a small, narrow street. I think if anybody was sitting here and watching Nanette's house, I think somebody would have noticed. I don't see it at all. Like I said, there's something missing here. Here from the other kind of viewpoint, not the street view, but the actual map, a map kind of thing, just to show you where the neighbours were. This is Nanette's house here, and that's the back fence, and behind the back fence there's actually 3 different neighbours that Greg could have gone to. That one, and that one. We don't know which one it was that he went to. I guess it doesn't really matter which one he went to, which neighbour it was, but He jumped this fence, he's gone to one of these 3 houses, and then on the way back, he's come down this street and down here to come in here and to go into the front door. Now that we know the number of the house, now we get to check out the inside, because I found some pictures from when it was listed for sale in 2007. Now, this is what it looks like now. Well, at least this is what it looked like in 2007, but this is also what it looks like on Google Maps right now, so I'm guessing it hasn't changed much. As you can see out the back, it already had the extension on it in 2007. I'm not exactly sure when that was put on. I guess we can find out, but I don't know how it's relevant to the story whatsoever. But you can see that this is obviously the lounge room here as you go in the door here. And you can't see here, but there's a little kitchen window at the back here. You can see it on the other picture that has Nanette's car out the front of it. Right there. Okay, so that's what the front looks like now. You can see the driveway as well. Once again, you can see that it was just a very short driveway, not very long at all, and very noticeable from the street. This picture gives us a lot of information because, as you can see the front door there. That's obviously the lounge room to the right. It looks like the kitchen has been updated since 1984. I doubt this is what the kitchen looked like in 1984, especially with the blinds. It would have looked completely different, I think. And I also think because it's been updated, I don't know whether this would have been filled in, this bit here, by the breakfast bar bit. It could have been a wall, so you might not have been able to see in between the lounge room and the kitchen in 1984. I'm not sure, but you could have. I don't know. But the good thing about this picture is it gives us a view of the outside window here out the back. So you can see there the fence that separates Nanette's house and the neighbours, which Greg would have jumped to get back to and visit his neighbours on that day. Now, I'm not saying that this is the fence from 1984. I have no idea. If it is, it's much lower than I pictured in my head. But you can see that the railing is on Nanette's side. So that could explain why Greg jumped the fence over but didn't jump to get back, because it would have been easier, of course, grabbing onto that railing. If anyone has jumped a fence, you know it's much easier on the bad side of the fence than the good side of the fence. So that gives a little bit more information there. But this is the picture that gives us the most information, I think, because this shows the hallway where she was killed. Now, I always imagined the hallway much longer than this. I have no idea why. But because it's so short, like the police said, she was killed, or this attack started out front of her bedroom door. Now, you can see here a bedroom at the end. You can see there's 2 doors on the right, and you can't see what's on the left. But like again, if you look at the front, you can see here's the lounge. This will be the room that's at the end there with that purple bit. And so this would probably be a bedroom on the left-hand side. So since there is 2 doors, only 2 doors on the right-hand side there, then I have to guess one's a bedroom and one's a bathroom. So then I think, well, where's the laundry? Because I always wondered why she ran to the laundry to go out the back when she was being attacked. And I thought maybe that the laundry was closely accessible. But as we can see here, the laundry is probably coming off the kitchen on the other end of this picture, which means when she was attacked here, she didn't run to the front door to get the weapons or to run out of the front door and out into the street where people might see her. For some reason, she ran to the right here and then out that way. That could be because, the attacker was in her way. Maybe she couldn't have gotten around him. I'm not sure. But I do wonder why, since this is such a straight shot to the front door, why she ended up out the back. I don't know. That's another question that hopefully can be answered one day. Also, with it being such a short hallway, I'm wondering where he came from. Was he in the house and he's come out of a bedroom? Or has he come in the front door? Because surely she would have heard him or seen him or... And that just actually brings up another point, because Greg said that when he got home, the radio was on, and the radio was on quite loud. He said that he didn't think anything of it because Nanette was a little bit deaf in one ear and always played the radio loud anyway, so it wasn't like it was out of the ordinary. But if Nanette was playing the radio, and if Nanette was starting to get undressed in order to go out, which is what the police believe because of her button being undone, then wouldn't she have already got all the stuff inside from her car and locked the door by now? I mean, because that was the theory, right? That the person got in while she was unloading her car, while she was walking in and out. So she's walking in and out, bringing everything in and out, and she's left the door open while she's doing it, and the person has come in. Well, for starters, like I said, if we go back to that picture at the start, if she's coming in from, there's going to be the car, and she's going in and out, I find it very hard to believe she's not noticed anyone come down the driveway and walk into the house. And that's what they would have had to have done if they were already in the house to attack her after she's gone in the door and locked the door. So I find that very hard to believe. The other way it could have been done, as if she was already in the house after getting all her stuff out of the car, and she's stopped doing what she's doing. She's gone and turned on the radio, and she's getting undressed. And I find that hard to believe, because if she was finished doing all that now she's gone and put the radio on and she's getting undressed, she would have just locked the door, right? Shut the door, locked the door, and they wouldn't have been able to get in anyway. So the only way this makes any sense is if the person was already in there. And then that doesn't make sense, because I find it hard to believe they would have slipped in there while she was taking everything out of the car and bringing it in, and she wouldn't have even noticed. I find both of these scenarios to be totally implausible, which makes me again think this was not a stalker. This was someone she knew, someone that she let into the house. And if she's let them into the house and she's got the radio on and she's getting undressed, this is somebody she probably knew intimately, because I don't get undressed in front of people I have acquaintances with. I only get undressed in front of people who I'm intimate with. So I don't buy the stalker idea, and then that makes it totally different when it comes to the rock throwing at her car and that. And I'm going to discuss that in the next video. I have a theory. It's one of many, but the one I'm going to discuss in the next video is a little controversial and might make some people a little angry, but I'm going to say it anyway. So make sure you subscribe to be notified when I upload the video. Have a great day, guys.